The first person who reaches top 50 in the global leaderboards wins. VooTramp, are you down?
What is up, you boys? VooTramp here. So I did see a reversals challenge, and I'm definitely in. I'm totally in.
Hello everyone, it is Reversal. Welcome back to another episode of Boom Beach. VooTramp has accepted the challenge. That means that from this point forward, I am officially pushing to top 50 global leaderboards. Look at my victory points, 895. 2 days ago, I was at 860. I've been making some steep progression, guys. It's insane. Let's take a look at how I am ranked versus VooTramp, because that is the point of interest here. VooTramp has 955 victory points. I'm about 50 victory points behind. I don't mind. I'm the underdog here, and if I prove myself here that I'm able to beat him, that'd be totally awesome, right? So I'm really pushing hardcore here right now. I actually have my statues over here boosted up. Not that I have to, but I kind of feel that I should squeeze in everything I can to make this push happening and, you know, not lose anything. And speaking of losing, I'm not getting attacked. Well, I am getting raided by this guy using RZM, relatively boosted up. This guy actually is the only guy that took me down, not boosting up, I think. So that is kind of unique. And let's actually watch what he did here. So he starts off with a barrage, onto the shock blaster and the boom cannon. I have no idea how he's gonna have enough gunboat energy for anything here. I think he's just taking care of the key points here, which is the shock blaster and then that boom cannon over there. I can already see he's creating a lot of space at the left side there, so that's very nice to see, taking care of the shock blaster there. Alright, let's see what he does here. Deploys everything. He had enough gunboat energy. I'm speeding up to 4 times because these are tanks. They're really slow. Shocking the boom cannon, taking out the boom cannon, losing one tank there. Flaring to the left side, taking care of the cannon once again. So this is going to be really interesting. What is he going to be doing? Flaring to the left side. He's keeping out of sight of that cannon over there. Right now taking down the cannon, taking down the shield generator here. And then keeping the boom cannon shocked. But there's 2 shock launches at the left and the right side. But he's still able to make his way through nicely. I gotta say, nicely. He's not getting a lot of damage. He is getting damage, but not to the point that he isn't able to take me down here. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty clutch, but he already did a lot of damage onto the base. It came in pretty clutch, but he took me down. So props to LL. Very, very nice. Now, what I want to show you guys is some of the attacks that I've been doing today. I have been boosting up my gunboat energy statue and my troop damage masterpiece, so they're not going to be that interesting, but at least, you know, I took down all bases and I can do a live attack after this. So let's just jump straight in. BBQ. This guy had a pretty annoying base, as you can see. Damage amplifier, shock blaster, rocket launches all boosted up. Pretty crazy base. Let's get into this. Dropping some critters in first, so that way I can make my way up there in single smoke. Preserving gunboat energy, making this my checkpoint, healing up. Dropping artillery. I actually dropped 2, but I didn't take out the flamethrower. This guy actually had a couple of ice statues, so that caused me some trouble. In fact, to pause real quick, let's count how many. 6 over here at the top, and then he has 1 over here, so 7 statues. This was a pretty tricky one. This guy, I think, had a 160,000 health on his headquarters, and then 110 extra from his statue. So I needed to boost up in order to take this guy out. Taking out the guy with 7 ice statues is actually pretty nice. So yeah, I tried to keep my boost at the minimum because I don't feel I need to. But today we had a couple of tough bases over here. In this particular situation, I want to weaken these flamethrowers because I see that damage amplifier over there. That is bad news for flamethrowers. That is so much damage it's doing. Alternatively, thinking about this one, I could have probably dropped some critters and a shock on them and get rid of the flamethrowers that way, but that is after. So let's see what happens here. Decided to smoke a little bit early, but leaving a little gap there so that way I could still reach it in 2 smokes. I think the smoking path on this was pretty nice, despite the fact that I walk over shock mine. Shock mine is gonna be there for 8 seconds, so that is actually a really long time. So let's see what happens here. Dropping the medkit, and I'm doing the exact same thing I said I should have probably done. So there was no need to take care of these flamethrowers, but I wanted to be sure that I got, you know, the takedown there. So I suppose it is what it is. Next up we got this guy. He had a shield generator. I took him out with warriors. I had my gunboat energy boosted up, so because it was a shore base and he had a little bit of boost here, I was able to actually take this one down with 3 barrages and 1 artillery onto the shield generator. Artillery incoming, and also taking care of the sniper tower. I'm also pretty happy that they placed residences around the shield generator. That actually made it that I decided to attack this one with the warrior attack strategy. Let's speed up to 2 times the speed here, because I'm gonna be dropping some critters over here and doing a 2 smoke landing to make my way up to the boom cannon. And then from here on out I'm just going to be charging to the headquarters and then dropping the medkits. I'm fully aware that the mines are going to be hurting pretty badly, but I'm deciding to take the risk here. The risk is going to be paying off, because I'm gonna smack my way to victory right here. So that was a very nice base takedown, I gotta say. Ishmael. So over here I only lost 21 warriors. I got myself a magma crystal. Pretty happy and psyched about that. So that kind of covered for the fact that I decided to boost up. Again, another shield generator base that I took out with the warrior attack strategy. This guy had even more boost than the last one, but the barrage was placed nicely. So here we go. Boom. Taking care of that. Going 2 times the speed here, making my way onto the statue storage is going to be my first checkpoint. Placing the smoke a little bit earlier so that way I could actually make it in a single smoke. Then over here, smokes overlapping perfectly in the 4 smokes. I make my way up to the headquarters and I got a lot of gunboat energy to work with. Dropping some critters at the side there, distracting the shock blaster and the flamethrower a little bit. And then taking out the base, having a lot of warriors left on this one. So that's pretty cool, right? Then I decided to switch attack strategies, because I felt that the other bases I couldn't take them down with the warrior attack strategy. So the first one, RZM, represent. This guy is boosted up. It would have been tough to take this one down. That's what I felt. I could have potentially gone for the shield generator though, now that I think about it. But I'm not sure where the shield generator is or what level it was. Now thinking about this, I could have probably taken this out with the warrior attack strategy. It's just, it was pretty enticing to take this out. You can just shock all of these together in a single shock. So I was like, I want to use a different attack strategy. I'm gonna make a YouTube video about this anyway. Let's make it a little bit interesting by switching attack strategies. So it wasn't a necessity, but I decided to do it regardless, because the next base required me to use RZM. Alright, taking this one out, going for the shock blaster, not caring about the fact that I didn't shock it in the end. I actually wanted to use my gunboat energy to save it up. Going for that shock launcher over there, of course, because the shock launcher gonna be in the way, gonna slow down my units, gonna weaken the rifleman in the long run. So yeah. As you guys can see over here, this is going to be a nice takedown, actually getting rid of that boom cannon over there. So yeah, that was the base of Ishmael. Oh no, that was the previous base. This guy, I don't know what his name is. Tuna. Okay, let's get into this. RZM again on this base. So this one, I could have potentially walked to the that thing. What's it called again? The shield generator. Taken it out, and then go to the headquarters. That's what I could have done. I didn't think of it at the time, but yeah, it is what it is. So here we go. I took care of 2 rocket launchers at the left side and the right side. Deciding to go for the man, I'm losing track of these names. Shock launcher. And then deploying everything over here. Getting some critters in there. Trying to shock the rocket launcher and the shock blaster at the same time. Was not successful at that. Getting the medkit in there for the rocket launcher. Dropping a shock bomb here and keeping it shocked all the time. I see a lot of mines there, so I decided to drop some critters. And I'm sorry if I'm speeding up on these attacks. It is just, I feel it's pretty straightforward at this point. And there were a lot of attacks, and I don't want to make this a 30-minute episode, because yeah, sometimes I'd like to switch it up. Switching up gears. I'm going to show you guys way more in-depth attacks like in the future and during live streams, of course. So you guys will definitely get an opportunity then. And if you want to see an extended gameplay, I'll link it in the video description down below. My most recent one, which was uploaded 2 days ago, right around when I had the same amount of victory points where I'm having it right now. A little bit less. But yeah. Alright, so those were the attacks that we did. that I did just now. And I also did an operation attack I want to share with you real quick. So that is this one on Action. So at this point there's 3 rocket launches gone over here, and my objective with the warrior attack strategy is to take care of these rocket launches over here. Let's see how we do. Decided to make this my first checkpoint. I can make my way up there with only 2 smokes. And then over here, I basically want to go here. There, right there. So let's see how these warriors are going to be walking. They're not walking over the mines here. I'm thinking that my smoking is pretty good. Until here. Here is where it got a little bit tricky, because you see this, the shock mine over there, and this smoke, that is bad news. Half of them do make their way up there, but these are all dying just like that. Half of my army swept just like that. But still, regardless of that, I'm able to make my way up there. It was a pretty nice takedown. I could have potentially made my way up to these rocket launchers, but it was a little bit clumsy because I started to panicking whenever those units ended up dying. So I think I did a nice attack there. I have something still available here. I lost a village, but most importantly this guy. He's not online, thankfully. I can go ahead and take him out. This is going to be an easy takedown. He has a shock blaster at the front there. I could just shock that, no problem. But these are all not boosted up. So we're just going to be going for this. This is going to be a fun takedown. I can just already take these out with a single rocket launcher. Just like that. And for this one, I am going to be going for this shock launcher. And here we go. Just going to deploy everything here. I see a lot of mines. So I'm just going to be dropping the shock bomb there. I'm going to drop another pair of mines there. Another shock bomb. A pair of mines. A pair of mines. Did I really just say that? That is so weird. A pair of mines. I don't even know what's gotten in my head for me to say a pair of mines. Anyway, it's almost 1 AM, so that might be just the fact that I gotta go to bed soon. I'm recording this the day before this video actually will be coming out, because you guys will already have the Operation Dead End episode uploaded onto the channel, or you guys will already probably seen it by this point. So you know, I'm all doing it in the same day. I'm recording in advance basically. This episode will be coming out 1 day after I recorded this, or maybe the same day, because whatever, it's late. Alright, so took down this base, and I got one more base on the map, and then I am cleaned out. Well, I still got some what do you call them? Resource bases, which I can take out, but I'm not going to. So 2 artilleries onto these rocket launchers. Drop the pack. Critter. Shock. Critter. Shock. Critter. That's fun. Look at them go. Man, the critter fun. I love critters. Critters are awesome. I wish I could have a pet critter. Wouldn't that be an awesome thing? Alright, here we go. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a takedown. I don't care at this point that maybe I'm going to be losing a couple of units here and there. This is where we're going to be ending today's episode of Boom Beach. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to follow me in my quest to top 50, because it is on, and the bases are definitely going to be getting harder and harder. I expect myself to be at 900 victory points tomorrow, or that will be today, depending on when you're watching this. And this video is recorded on the 24th of May, so that way you guys know. Look at your calendars, it's the 25th right now. I'll be at 900 victory points tomorrow, or I don't. And I'm gonna continue to push on. Right now I am currently in the Netherlands, rank 478. That is not too bad. In the global, I'm pretty sure I'm not top. You'll be appearing in here if you're top 30,000 in the world. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. When is it that I'm gonna be in top 30,000? I got no idea. Probably next week. We will have to see about that. But until then, we're going to be wrapping this video off here. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. As always, make sure that if you guys like this video, to boom, give it a thumbs up. And that being said, this has been Reverse for Boom Beach. I'm going to be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.